Today we'll be looking at Kodak's Tri-X 400. It's one of the most popular black and white films right there next to Ilford HP5. Tri-X 400 is a very fine-grained, high-sharpness film that is probably best known for its contrast. Tri-X 400 is a very contrasty film, and while it is labeled as a 400-speed film, your results may vary depending on your developer. The contrast kind of works as a detriment to the shadow detail of the film. In some cases, the film is so high contrast that you actually lose a little bit of shadow detail. For this review, I used two different developers. I used Xtol at 1 to 2 because Xtol at 1 to 2 has a speed increase. I want to see if I could pull a little bit more shadow detail out of Tri-X to see what the latitude really is like. And I also used HC110 at dilution B to get more of a standard appearance out of the film. Here we have Xtol on the left and HC110 on the right. And right away, I think one of the first things that you'll notice is that kind of famous Tri-X contrast. The image on the right has a very intense graphic quality. I metered both of these at 400 and I exposed the shadows for zone 3. In the HC110, there's a bit of a loss of shadow detail. While the Xtol version on the left is quite a bit flatter, I think you can still see some of that characteristic Tri-X contrast. Personally, I feel like it's better to have more latitude to be able to edit the image in post rather than have such a baked-in look, but depending on what you're looking for, you can go either way. As far as grain goes, I think Tri-X holds true in the fine grain aspect. The grain definitely has a presence, but it's still fine enough so that you can see fine details. When it comes to how the film performs in high contrast scenes, I feel like the film performs very well. It's able to maintain plenty of shadow detail in the dark areas and also control those lighter areas without going overboard in the highlights. I was actually really pleased with how the highlights turned out, particularly in the Xtol version. You can get a feel for the intensity of the light on the right side, but as the light goes from that shoulder chest area across to the other darker shadow area, the subtle tonality I think was handled extremely well by the film. Overall, I think Tri-X is a great film, and it's definitely one that has its own unique look, but it still has plenty of latitude to where you can get different looks out of it depending on what you're going after. Just for reference, here's Tri-X next to HP5, both in HC110. You can see the Tri-X clearly has a more dramatic look to it. I think both are quality films, nothing wrong with either of them, it just kind of depends on what your preferences are, and I think they both have plenty of latitude to do different things with, which is a great quality. I think Tri-X is a film that is worth trying out. I think it's definitely one with a unique look and a bit more of a dramatic flair, but if your favorite developer is HC110, I think you'll definitely have to experiment a bit and probably rate the film a little bit lower and maybe reduce the development time a tiny bit to get some more detail out of it. But if you're interested in trying other things out, I think Xtol works really well with Tri-X. Let me know in the comments, what are your guys' thoughts on Tri-X? Was this video able to change your guys' mind at all about Tri-X? I would like to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on The Negative.